Good morning, students. Let us start with new chapter number 9, strategies for enhancement in food production. We know that with the increasing population, demand for food is increasing. So we have to find the strategies or methods for enhancement in the food production. In this chapter, we will be studying about animal husbandry, plant breeding, single cell protein, tissue culture. Since we obtain food from plants and animal both, that is why we are going to study both in detail, as well as single cell protein, which is the excellent source of protein and can prove to be a boon for those who have protein deficiency. For that purpose, we are going to study these topics. With ever increasing population of the world, enhancement of food production is major necessity. As I told you, biological principles are applied to animal husbandry and plant breeding have a major role in our efforts to increase food production. With the use of biology and its principles, now animal husbandry and plant breeding are playing major roles. Several new techniques like embryo transfer technology and tissue culture techniques are going to play a pivotal role in further enhancing food production. First of all, we will start with animal husbandry. It is an agricultural practice of breeding and raising livestock. Livestock includes all the cattle used in agriculture. As such, it is vital skill for farmers and is as much science as it is art. Animal husbandry deals with the care and breeding of the livestock like buffaloes, cow, pig, horse, cattle, sheep, camel, goat, etc. that are useful to humans. Extended, it includes poultry farming and fisheries also. Fisheries include rearing, catching, and selling of fish, mollusk that is shellfishes, and crustaceans that is prawn, crab, etc. Since time immemorial, animals like bees, silkworm, prawns, crabs, fishes, birds, pigs, cattle, sheep, and camels have been used by humans for products like milk, eggs, meat, wool, silk, honey, etc. It is estimated that more than 70% of the world livestock population is in India and China. However, it is surprising to note that contribution of the world farm produce is only 25%, livestock 70% and farm produce only 25%. That is, productivity per unit is very low. Hence, in addition to conventional practices of animal breeding and care, newer technologies also have to be applied to achieve improvement in quality as well as productivity. Management of farm and farm animals. How to manage them? So, a professional approach to what have been traditional practices of farm management gives the much needed boost to our food production. Let us discuss some of the managing procedures employed in various animal farm systems. Very first is dairy farm management. Please note down what is dairying. It is the management of animals for milk and its products for human consumption. We can list several animals which we find in dairy, for example, goat, sheep, cows, buffaloes, etc. What are different kinds of products that can be made with milk from a dairy farm? Say it's curd, buttermilk, cheese, butter, ice creams, sweets, and many more. In dairy farm management, we deal with the processes and system that increase the yield of milk and also the products and improve the quality of milk also. Milk yield is primarily dependent on the quality of breeds that is species, varieties, what we are using in the farm. Selection of good breeds having high yielding potential under the climatic conditions of that particular area is combined with the resistance to diseases, and it becomes very important. For the yield potential to be realized, the cattle have to be well looked after, they have to be housed well, should have adequate water, and be maintained disease free. The feeding of the cattle should be carried out in a scientific manner with a special emphasis on the quality and quantity of the fodder. Besides, strict cleanliness and hygiene of both the cattle as well as handlers are paramount importance while milking, storage, and transport of milk and its products. Nowadays, of course, much of these processes have become mechanized, which reduces chance of direct contact of the produce with the handler. Ensuring these measures would, of course, require regular inspections with proper record keeping. It will also help to identify and rectify the problems as early as possible. Regular visits by a veterinary doctor would be mandatory, that is compulsory. You would probably find it interesting if you were to prepare a questionnaire on diverse aspects of dairy keeping and then follow it up with a visit to dairy farm in your locality and seek answers to these questions. This way, with proper dairy farm management, we can surely increase the production of milk as well as its quality. Next to it is poultry farm management. Poultry is a class of domesticated fowl, that is birds, used for food or for their eggs. Keep in mind, for food as well as eggs, they typically include chicken, ducks, and sometimes turkey and geese. Turkey and geese are again birds. The word poultry is often used to refer to the meat of only these birds because not meat of all birds is edible. So, but in more general sense, it may refer to the meat of other birds too. As in dairy farming, selection of disease free and suitable breeds, proper and safe farm conditions, proper feed and water, hygiene, health care, these are the important components of poultry farm management. We have heard about bird flu virus in TV news or newspaper that created a scare in the country and drastically affected egg and chicken consumption. To prevent the spread of the flu in such cases, when chicken are infected, it is mandatory for the poultry farms to manage them well, to maintain the hygiene well, and to feed them properly. Animal breeding. Breeding of animals is an important aspect of animal husbandry. Animal breeding aims at the increasing the yield of animals, improving the desirable qualities of the produce. For breeding, we must know for what characters we are going to breed animals, as well as for selection of characters, different animals are chosen. What is breed? A group of animals related by descent and similar in most characters like general appearance, features, size, configuration, etc. are said to belong to a breed. In general sense, we can refer the members of the same family to be a breed. When breeding is between animals of same breed, it is inbreeding. When different breeds are crossed, it is outbreeding. Inbreeding. It refers to the mating of more closely related individuals within the same breed for 4 to 6 generations. The breeding strategy is as follows. Superior males, underline, please underline, superior males and superior females of the same breed are identified and mated in pairs. The progeny obtained from such matings are evaluated and superior males and female among them are identified for further mating. A superior female in the case of cattle is the cow or buffalo that produces more milk per lactation. On the other hand, a superior male is the bull which give rise to superior progeny as compared to those of other males. So this is how inbreeding occurs. Mendel's strategy is used for developing pure lines in cattle as was used in case of peas by Mendel. Inbreeding increases homozygosity, that is, gene for particular character remains same. Thus inbreeding is necessary if we want to evolve a pure line in any animal. Inbreeding exposes harmful recessive genes that are eliminated by selection. It also helps in accumulation of superior genes and elimination of less desirable genes. Therefore, this approach, where there is selection at each step, increases the productivity of inbred population. However, continued inbreeding, especially close breeding, usually reduces fertility and even productivity. This is inbreeding depression. Whenever this becomes a problem, selected animals of the breeding population should be mated with unrelated super animals of the same breed. This usually helps restore fertility and yield. Two examples of improved breed of cattle and chicken, that is Jersey cattle and Leghorn chickens, are there. Next is outbreeding. Outbreeding is the breeding of unrelated animals which may be between individual of same breed but having no common ancestors for 4 to 6 generation, that is opposite to the inbreeding. Hence it is outcrossing. If it is between different breeds, then it is known as cross breeding, or different species is interspecific hybridization. So we can say that outbreeding includes outcrossing, crossbreeding, and interspecific hybridization. Let us see outcrossing. This is practice of mating of animals within the same breed but having no common ancestor on either side of their pedigree up to 4 to 6 generation. Now what is pedigree? Pedigree is the family history, family chart, what we can say. The offspring of such mating is known as an outcross. It is the best breeding method for animals that are below average in productivity in milk production, growth rate in beef cattle, etc. A single outcross often helps to overcome inbreeding depression. Next is crossbreeding. In this method, superior males of one breed are mated with the superior females of another breed. Crossbreeding allows the desirable qualities of two different breeds to be combined. The progeny hybrid animal may themselves be used for commercial production. Alternatively, they may be subjected to some form of inbreeding and selection to develop new stable breeds that may be superior to the existing breeds. Many new animal breeds have been developed by this approach. Hisardale is a new breed of sheep developed in Punjab by crossing Bikaneri eves and merino rams. Eve and ram are the words used for different genders in sheep. Interspecific hybridization is the method in which male and female animals of two different related species are mated. See, here different species are used, not the breeds only. So, in some cases, the progeny may combine desirable features of both parents and may be of considerable economic value, that is, mule. Mule is a hybrid of donkey as well as horse. Mule is produced when a male donkey is mated with the female horse. As a result, mule is produced, and it is very helpful in hill areas where it helps the people in several ways. These breeding experiments are carried out using artificial insemination, in which the semen is collected from the male that is chosen as a parent and injected into the reproductive tract of selected female by the breeder. The semen may be used immediately or it can be frozen and used at a later date. It can also be transported in a frozen form to where the female is housed. In this way, desirable matings are carried without the animals, and artificial insemination helps us overcome several problems of normal matings. Often, the success rate of crossing mature male and female animals is fairly low, even though artificial insemination is carried out. To improve the chances of successful production of hybrids, other means are also used, that is, multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology, that is MOET. It is one of such program for herd improvement. In this method, a cow is administered hormones with FSH like activity to induce follicular maturation and superovulation. Instead of one egg, which they normally yield per cycle, they produce 6 to 8 eggs. The animal is either mated with an elite bull or artificially inseminated. The fertilized eggs are at 8 to 32 cells, now recovered non surgically and transferred to surrogate mothers. The genetic mother is available for another round of superovulation. This technology has been demonstrated for cattle, sheep, rabbit, buffalo, mares, etc. High milk yielding breeds of female and high quality in sense of meat with less lipid meat yielding bulls have been bred successfully to increase herd size in a short time. Next, beekeeping and fisheries we will be doing in the next lecture.